What's up, everybody? This is Tom Lang with Warchant TV and Warchant.com, and today we're doing our position preview of the linebackers, an important transfer on campus, development within the ranks, and a couple of more important pieces to the puzzle. Make sure you subscribe right now to Warchant TV. Don't wait. Hit the subscribe button right underneath this video because you'll be covered with the best content in FSU sports, because that's what we bring to you right here at Warchant TV. And hit the like button underneath this video. If you enjoy what we do, the like helps us find more people who are looking for FSU football coverage. And now we're under 100 days from the opener against Duquesne. Thank you all so much for your support. We can't express adequately what it means for you to support Warchant TV. So it's been the butt of more than a few jokes over the past few years, the linebacker position at Florida State. What the offensive line has been to the offense, linebacker has been to the defense. And at Florida State, subpar linebacker play just doesn't cut it. So who are some of the solutions this year? It starts in the transfer portal with Tatum Bethune. Wearing number 15 this year, 6'1", 230-pound transfer from UCF. Tatum Bethune was familiar with the FSU football program because new linebackers coach and co-defensive coordinator Randy Shannon had worked with Bethune previously in Orlando. He is an immediate upgrade. You watch him move at the 230-pound frame like he's carrying about 210 or 215. He's in the middle of everything, sideline to sideline. Bethune will be a day one starter for FSU. He'll be somebody who signals in the calls, gets folks aligned, and he works very well in tandem in all situations with a lighter linebacker or another run-stuffing type linebacker. This is a huge upgrade for Florida State, and it could be argued that it's the number one transfer upgrade this offseason heading into 2022. One of Florida State's most improved players last year was linebacker Kalyn Deloach. 6'1", 211, Deloach was a different player in November. Again, wearing number 4 this year, Deloach is a player who made plays in the backfield, say, against Boston College and an important safety in November. Had an interception where he read diagnosed a play in Gainesville against the Gators. Deloach figures to be the second starter where you affix the most reps, the most snaps. It's going to be Bethune and Deloach. They are a good combination. You've got the size with Tatum Bethune at 230. You've got more of a coverage player in Deloach at 211. Next up is number 46, DJ Lundy, who, even though he's listed at 6'1", 239 pounds, the redshirt sophomore has lost a lot of weight year over year, and that's a good thing. From simply an aesthetic standpoint, Lundy looked like a menace last year, but he couldn't get from A to B as quickly as you wanted. Great job by Coach Storms and the training staff to work with DJ Lundy, and of course, the commitment of Lundy himself to go from the fall into the spring and look to be in much more trim and better shape to play down in and down out. Lundy figures to be the third man in the rotation, and if you see more of a run-heavy offense, Lundy should be in the mix more often in those type of games. The Tallahassee native Amari Gaynor, Redshirt Jr., he played in Childs, and he's been here for quite a while. Gaynor has been a frustrating player for a lot of FSU fans because you look at him and you say, at 6'3", 223, there is a player that looks like a Florida State linebacker of yesteryear. The important thing for Gaynor in 2021 was by the end of the year, he looked a lot more comfortable creating angles and closing down and tackling, making plays. Gaynor had a solid spring. He will be in the rotation. He will get some snaps in games this fall. We'll see outside of obvious situations like 3rd and long where maybe you can put Gaynor around the line of scrimmage, how much work he'll get in 1st and 2nd and neutral where passing or running could come into play. Another player who looks the part at 6'2", 235 is Dix Jr. He's a player that just by the look of him, FSU fans get frustrated and say, why isn't this guy on the field more often? Well, sometimes it's not just about how you look and how physical you can be in a straight line. It's how do you move laterally? How do you diagnose plays? Are you fluid enough? Do you have the hips to turn and go make plays? And Dix has not always provided that proof. I would assume again this fall that Dix Jr. would be a depth piece and probably somebody that works on special teams. There was a position change for number 28, Brendan Gant. He comes from the defensive backfield now up to play linebacker at 6'2", 193. This is an intriguing project. We don't know if it's going to work. It could work beautifully in some sub packages where you want more coverage, or it could flop. Brendan Gant worked extensively at linebacker this spring. We'll keep an eye on him in the fall. And a true freshman who again impressed at times, number 36, Omar Graham Jr. He's out of Stranahan in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 6'1", 228. That's what he was listed in spring. We'll see if there's any development to his body by the time he gets into fall camp. But Omar Graham Jr. did impress. There were certain days where I had to consult my roster and look at the number 36 and say, oh yeah, that's freshman Omar Graham Jr. He could be somebody who's in the mix in the years to come. He looks like an early hit. Development will be key, and Randy Shannon will be working with Omar Graham Jr. very, very closely obviously, over the next couple years. Keep an eye out to see if Graham plays special teams in the interim. As position breakdowns go, this one's pretty straightforward. Tatum Bethune is the horse. He's a redshirt junior, but he's looking to make a statement and only spend one fall in Tallahassee. We'll see how successful that venture is, but if Tatum Bethune goes down, you start to get worried about the depth at linebacker immediately. It's not that Deloach hasn't improved. It's not that Lundy hasn't trimmed down in weight, but Tatum Bethune is going to be one of the MVPs on defense if it goes where Florida State fans hope it goes this year. And keep an eye out in the transfer portal. If there is an opening for a linebacker who could make a difference, I think Florida State would very much consider bringing in another LB to help out with the group. If you like this position preview, be sure to check out our channel at Warchant TV. We've got every offensive position broken down. We've also got most defensive positions. We're waiting on defensive backs. That is to come in the next week or so. But we've got even more content. Live shows every day at 1 p.m., every weekday that is. We've got recruiting content, FSU football content. We'll be covering the baseball team as they enter regional play next week. We are your home for the best in Seminole sports coverage. Make sure to hit subscribe and like the video below. Thank you so much for tuning in to Warchant TV today. My name is Tom Lang, and I look forward to talking to you next time right here on Warchant TV.